The animation opens up with a young girl, Jessa LeBron, hurriedly going to her supernatural academy, as she appears to be late. Luckily she makes it just on time. However, she is being scolded by her headmaster for her late coming habit. Headmaster Kristoff doesn't have a strong case against her, as she doesn't seem to be breaking any rule, so he lets her go. She reunites with her close-knit friend group called Tara, Max, and Brax. Max had already saved her a spot using his vampire persuasion power. Jessa complains to her friend Tara that the headmaster was all out for her. He doesn't track anyone else except her. Tara let her know that he might just be helping Jessa's dad keeping an eye out for his daughter. The animation switches to the human world, at a grocery store. We can see Misha and her friend Holly, who had skipped school lunch to get their favorite crisp. They try to add a comic book to their order, but the cash at hand won't cover the bill. Back at the Supernatural Academy, Tara lets Jessa know that Max actually likes her and that she should try to give him a chance. But Jessa feels they are best friends, and he isn't allowed to like her in that way. Although Max and Brax are sexy, Jessa doesn't see them in that way. Max and Brax are admired by a lot of students including the popular Elda, who always likes to call to his attention. Elda and her clique are known to be rude, and Jessa reprimands her for acting so rudely to the other students. Elda fires back obviously, accusing her of getting away with breaking rules, just because her father is the council leader. After a brief exchange of words, Jessa decides to let it go, and focus on her friends. On the other hand, Misha begins to draw her friend, Holly. She recommends that Misha begins to make money with her drawing, as she is really good. But Misha let her know that her mom won't let her come on social media. Publicizing her art to strangers is a big no. Her friend notices her mom is really strict on privacy, and feels there must be a backstory. She suggests it could be a dad problem. Although, Misha doesn't know much about her father, because her parents had split up before she was born. At the supernatural world, Jessa suggests that they skip study class, and go have fun outside. Although Max thinks they would be in trouble if they are caught, his brother Braxton decides to accompany Jessa. During a run through the woods, the duo comes across Headmaster Kristoff abducting a young boy with a dragon mark on his arm. Jessa notices that the young boy isn't from the academy and considers the move suspicious. Kristoff conjures a secret door, as he takes the captured boy inside. Just as she enters, Jessa and Brax try to go after him, but it is too late, as the door closes. In the human world, we can see Misha drawing a vision of the boy in the door in her sketchbook. Holly is amazed by her talent and tells her to turn her sketches into a comic. She is excited to find out the story behind the door and the boy. Misha lets her know that there isn't really a story, as the pictures just appear in her head. After witnessing the Mr. Kristoff incident, Jessa tells the whole story to the rest of her friend group. Although they consider it suspicious, they agree to let it be and focus on their studies. At Tara's place, her mom advises Jessa to play it easy with Mr. Kristoff, as he wouldn't be so nice to her if her father eventually steps down as council leader. During their history class, the students are taught that their ancestors had lived in balance in the Fey realm, with fairies, trolls, shapeshifters and vampires. Each clan had their kingdom. But then, a very powerful dragon king arose. The clans came up to attack him, but he was too powerful for them. However, the dragon war began, and the Dragon King was eventually destroyed after the Fey realm was laid to waste. The supernaturals who remained came into their present world as refugees. There they lived hidden behind cloaking spells. Outside their boundaries, humans have no idea that they exist. During a game, Brax lets his brother know that he likes Jessa. Although Max loves Jessa, he just isn't prepared for all the high mental stress. Misha's mother isn't really pleased with Misha's drawings, as she feels it might connect her to the supernatural. That night Misha has a cryptic dream, where she is being chased by a wolf. She eventually turns into a wolf, ready to attack her opponent, but then wakes up to find out that she has damaged her furniture. Her mother comforts her saying it's normal, and just night terror. But Misha knows something is wrong with her and this isn't just an ordinary nightmare. Jessa's dad Jonathan returns from his travels. Just as they talk about the World Council, Jessa uses this opportunity to ask him about magical ways to travel. He explains in detail how to travel using a door portal, which is exactly what Mr. Kristoff had done. Meanwhile, in the human world, just as Misha is about to be attacked, her mother arrives just in time to save her. Knowing she can no longer both hide and protect Misha in the human world, she reluctantly takes her to the supernatural world. There Misha reunites with her twin sister, Jessa, and her father Jonathan. After realizing their new identity in this unexpected family reunion, the girls do not get along. Misha is enrolled to Supernatural Academy, where Jessa is to look after her. Jessa introduces her twin sister to her friends. Just as Misha gets along with the new group, Jonathan takes her to the headmaster to enroll her into the academy. We learn that Misha doesn't have any powers yet. Misha is amazed by the supernatural world, although she still needs some adjusting to do. She can't get enough of this magical academy. Misha attends her first class, but then it doesn't go as planned, as she offends a troll teacher, telling him he isn't up to date with his lectures. The teacher gets angry as he dismisses Misha and Jessa from his class. Misha learns that the supernatural don't visit the human world, which explains why the teacher is outdated. Jessa is mad that Misha had to embarrass her and she has to look after her. They get into a little argument as they leave for their room. The next day, Misha is faced with the struggles of navigating the supernatural world alone. However, Max, who had picked a little interest in Misha, decides to keep her company. Max and Brax let her know that the supernaturals are not wired to be alone. The boys comfort her as they introduce her to their bestie pack. Just as Misha tries to go see her mom, she meets up with Jessa, who also has a similar mission. The girls confront their parents on why they still love each other after each party abandoned them. There they learn that they are dragon marked. In every generation, a few supernatural are born with the mark of the Dragon King. To protect their history, the dragon marked lived in cloisters warded against magic, as it kept them safe from the rest of the community. The girls check their bodies to discover that there aren't any marks on them. Leanda lets them know that she had consulted a powerful sorcerer to cast a spell that will hide their marks, and keep them safe. Jonathan tells them not to tell anyone about this, as they could wind up in prison. After learning the truth, the girls contemplate the dragon mark, and Misha realizes that it is just like her vision. They plan to rescue the kid who was abducted, as he also had the same mark. Later that night, they meet up with the pack, and they devise a plan to steal travel tokens from the headmaster's office. However, it wasn't a smooth job, as Kristoff soon noticed that something had gone off in his office. Although the group makes it out without being caught, Kristoff finds a piece of the travel token, realizing what the intruder could be up to. The pack refuel and celebrate their successful mission. Though Max doesn't feel good about it, as he feels they would be in serious trouble if they are caught. Jay advises Jessa to be careful with the travel token. The girls resume school, while Kristoff begins his investigation. During lunch period, Misha stands up to a bully who tries to ridicule her new friend, Dante. When things get a little bit intense, Max supports her, scaring the bully away. The sisters visit the hub, which would take them to the supernatural door, where the bot is being held. Jessa eventually finds the door, but it won't open, as they don't have the correct aura to open it. Just as they talk about the supernatural doors, that had different locations, they find a creepy one. The girls decide to move a little bit closer. Unfortunately, it opens up, nearly dropping the girls down a lava. Meanwhile, the headmaster calls Tara to his office, claiming he has enough evidence that proves she is among the students who broke into his office. He interrogates her, telling her to give out the names of everyone involved, but Tara refuses to snitch. Because of this, Kristoff serves the full punishment to her. She receives a 30% demerit of her powers, including a 1-month detention. The girls learn in school that the cloisters for the dragon-marked kids is a safe home and a perfect place for the cursed kids. However, Jessa believes it is all propaganda. When the pack begins to neglect a weak Tara, she becomes resentful of Jessa and Misha. A spiteful Elda seizes the opportunity as she moves closer to Tara, planting hatred in her heart. With little or no signal for days, Dante the troll helps Misha get a signal, as she contacts her friend Holly from the human world. Just as they prepare for their combat class, Misha is paired with a harmless bunny shifter named Chanel. However, when the teacher is distracted, Elda uses a magic token to switch bodies with Chanel and then pushes Misha into a lake, where she is dragged deep underneath the ocean by a mermaid Opal, one of Misha's enemies. Just as she drowns Misha, Jessa hears her thoughts and immediately comes to her rescue. She shifts into a wolf, as she bites Opal, while Brax rescues them from the lake. The healer is brought to check on Misha, just as Tara feels bad for plotting against her friend. The healer notices an unidentified spellbound in Misha's aura and questions Leanda about it, but she denies knowing anything about it. Back home, Leanda confronts her husband asking him to do something as the council head, to protect their daughters, as Misha almost lost her life. The girls assure their mother that they are safe now and that there is nothing to worry about. They tell the girls about how they were born, and how a friend and powerful sorcerer, Louis, helped in saving their lives. When they were born, their magic was so strong, so Louis had to cast a suppression spell that would make Misha live as a human. The couples were afraid that they would lose their daughters, so they decided to separate, and in doing so, save their lives. The sisters plan on visiting the hub again, this time finding answers to all their questions. Jay and the boys insist on going with her and locating this lost boy. They go to the supernatural enclave, where they find the door again. However, Jay is distracted as she is drawn to another door. She curiously opens the door, and it entraps her. Brax goes after her heroically, but he is also trapped within. They find themselves in the destroyed fairy realm. Jay notices that there is a little life in it, and it isn't entirely destroyed as always preached. She uses her magic to reawaken the vines. The group tries vainly to open the doors to reach out to their trapped friends, but all to no avail. They decide to give up and reach out to the teachers for help. Meanwhile, Jay continues giving up her magic to the realm, while it sucks her dry. Brax tries to stop her from giving more powers to the realm, but she's all in her head, as she insists on reviving the realm. After several attempts to break through the fairy realm door, Kristoff gives up. He blames Jonathan's daughters for breaking the rules and putting lives at risk. Brax tries to snap Jay out of her fairy tale, but in doing so, the duo engage in a really intense battle. Meanwhile, in the hub, a troll teacher offers to open the door. To everyone's surprise, his magic is able to unlock the fairy realm door. Brax quickly grabs Jay out of the realm, before the vines can get to them. After a successful rescue, Jay is being taken to the infirmary by the healer. Because of this, Kristoff announces that the hub is off-limit to students. The headmaster gives Jessa, Max, Brax and Tara 60% demerits for their recklessness. However, he spares Misha as she has no powers. The group begin to adapt to their new living condition as weak beings. They fall asleep in class and are being laughed at all the time. Kristoff had put in heavy security at the hub, restricting students from entering the hub. With no way of finding the boy Kristoff had captured, the group decides to inquire from Jay, who is already recovering. However, Jay isn't really in the mood to speak to the pack. The pack gets bullied by Elda and her friends for their lack of power. Jessa becomes fed up and decides to steal her father's talent to regain her powers back. She invites the group. Max again thinks this is a bad idea, but Jessa convinces him. They are able to regain their powers back, as they feel very much alive. However, Misha feels sad that she doesn't have her powers yet. Jay on the other hand begins to have visions of the vines and the fairy realm. She talks to the troll teacher saying it felt like home, and like she belonged there. Misha goes out into the woods, trying out dangerous tasks, hoping she can transform into a wolf, but nothing works. One of Elda's friends, Zadi, then gives Misha comfort. She lets her know that her powers will come at the right time and that she doesn't have to force it. In the meantime, Jessa confronts Elda about the body swapping incident, and how they tried to drown her sister. She threatens to tell her dad about the illegal talisman she used. Out of fear, Elda hands over the talisman to Jessa, but before she leaves, Elda tells Jessa that Tara helped her. In a furious mood, Jessa confronts Tara in the cafeteria. They almost fight, but Misha, Brax and Max manage to stop them. Brax go on to comfort Jessa. There, she confides in Brax that she and Misha are dragon-marked. He promises not to tell anyone, as he will always be on her side. That night, Jessa thinks of an idea. To make her sister experience supernatural powers, she uses the talisman to swap bodies with Misha, so Misha can experience how it feels to shift. In Jessa's body, Misha shifts and runs through the woods as a wolf. However, doom happens as she isn't able to shift back. If you want me to continue this show, please let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe if you love animation movies.